Hello. I was watching some comments by some people about the governments in our homeland, especially in the east of Nigeria, Anibu. They mentioned Anambra. They mentioned most of the states. They are talking about basically that these states, the government in these states, as we have already talked about in this channel, that they are sleeping, that there are a lot of comparative advantage they got that other people doesn't have. One, the size of our area is a great advantage because we don't have that big landmass, and because we don't have that big landmass, what that entails is basically it helps us to develop quicker than others because it will cost less to build roads in our homeland. Let's give, for instance, an Anambra State. If you check Onitsha, you see you can actually finish up most of the roads in Onitsha in 2 years. You can actually rebuild all of them in 2 years because it's not that big metropolitan city. So the whole of the state is not up to 5,000 square kilometers. So that's why we needed them to do something. So we need the state governors to rise up. In Anambra State, we need them to rise up. There are things that they need to do that can change the narrative. And people have been talking, and let me use this part one to just talk about one thing. Do you know that Anambra State, under Professor Charles Gov.Soludo, can actually build most of the roads, starting with Onitsha? Do you know he can do that? Do you know he can do that? People will be saying, are you sure what you are talking about? How can he do that? We have said it before, but we keep on repeating it. Let's give in Onitsha. Let's start with Onitsha. A policy and a bold step will bring about this, not the money, let's say. So first of all is to have a policy that all the internal roads must be rebuilt in 2 years. Let me tell you, if Governor Gov.Soludo come up with a policy that each of your front area streets that you must build them and give the streets or the landowners 1 year or 2 to do that, they will now partner to do that, and also make provision money to loan. I bet you that in Onitsha, those that build all those big houses, those that have all those plots that a lot of them are worth more than 10 million, they will not fail to invest 5 million if the government is also giving some attractive carrots for them, giving some incentive for them to do that, and knowing fully well there will be massive economic opportunity in that. They will now dazzle in it. The government can basically focus on building most of the major roads, but now it make it compulsory that no road should be left untarred in the whole of Onitsha, so that within 2 years they have a policy that in partnership or alone that the whole roads has to be done. So if the government want to borrow to build all the roads and the people will now pay for it, spread over the years, I do believe it will be a great change, and it will get the city to be a 21st century city, and this will create massive jobs, and it will make the city to be more cleaner and environmentally friendly. Remember, building roads is not just doing the concrete roads or doing asphalt on the road. It also involves doing proper drainage, underground drainages, and covering the drainages, and also beautifying the roads. Every road's infrastructure should be put in there, and also street lighting and the CCTV cameras. All of them will be done. So that's what we are talking about when we are mentioning this. That's what we are talking about, and making sure that every house have a solar light, 2 solar lights operational in their houses, so that the whole city will be lightened up in the night. That's what we are talking about as a part of part 1 of this discussion. Very, very important, because if we want to change the narrative, We need to do something. We are not restrained by anybody. I so the governor so the time to rise is now. Ogaige kuninola elugo. Biko Governor Gov.Soludo ogaige kuninola igemenwu ihe ndị nka. As a professor of economics, you know more of economics. I don't need to tell you this, but sometimes somebody might know something, but he failed to do that. We need to remind that person and keep on pushing so that the person does that. Because this, supposing you come up with this policy, that in 2 years you have the whole roads done. Basically, this will actually add a lot of value. The internally generated revenue will grow by 100%. I'm telling you, all these things people are asking, oh, our people should return home. Basically, this part 1 will basically bring millions of people into Onitsha immediately, and millions of investments or thousands of investments. So on part 2, we are going to talk about another thing they need to do. We are just using Onitsha, but it can be replicated in all the cities in Anambra State. So our people are innovative. Our people have the resources, but what they don't have is the proper leadership. Leadership that is articulative, leadership that has a vision, a revolutionary mindset that can actually change a lot of things. That's what we are lacking. So if we have a sleeping politician or sleeping politicians, it will not, these things will not come. If we don't have radical people who can, take the development very serious, this thing will not happen. That's why we continue to lag behind and our people running away from our homeland. Time has come, we need to change this narrative. And I do believe that we must push this, we must continue to push until something tangible come out of this. I don't know if you understand what we are talking about. This is only part 1, but you need to engage in the conversation. Let's keep this conversation going on. The homeland must be great again. Anambra must be great again. Igbo must be great again. Nigeria must be great again. Thank you. I am so Kodili-nye, the son of wonderful. See you in the next one, and God bless you. Bye.